There comes a moment in every life where everything changes. Not because the world suddenly became easier, not because someone handed you an opportunity, but because inside you drew a line. You said no more. No more drifting. No more waiting. No more living small. That moment, the moment of decision, is when your life begins to shift. Think about it. Every great breakthrough in history started with one decision. A person saying, "I will not stay here." The decision to fight for freedom. The decision to leave comfort and chase a dream. The decision to walk away from what was destroying them. Life does not bend for hesitation, but it moves for decision. Let me tell you something, nothing changes until you decide. You can read every book, listen to every speech, dream all night long, but until you say, "This is the moment I take control," your life will stay the same. The power isn't in knowledge. The power is in choice. Picture a locked door in front of you. Behind it is everything you've ever wanted. Strength, peace, success, freedom. That door doesn't open with hope, with wishes, with waiting. It opens when you decide to turn the handle. One choice. That's the key. Think of someone stuck in a job they hate for 10 years. They complain every day, but nothing changes because they never truly decide. Then one day they wake up and it's different. They say, "I'm done." And from that moment they take action. They build new skills. They apply for new opportunities. They create a new path. That one choice sparks a chain reaction that shifts everything. What about you? When will your moment come? When will you stop letting life push you around and instead plant your feet and say, "Enough is enough"? Because the second you do, your world will move. The moment you decide, everything shifts. Not tomorrow, not next year. The shift happens the instant you choose. Decide now. Decide today. Your future is waiting for that single moment of power. If decision is power, then indecision is poison. Indecision doesn't strike loud. It creeps in quietly, like a thief in the night. It steals your days, your chances, your energy, without you even noticing. You wake up years later and wonder, where did my time go? The answer is simple. Indecision stole it. How many times have you wanted to start something new, but you hesitated? You thought about it, doubted yourself, waited for the right moment, and while you hesitated, time moved on. That's the trap of indecision. It makes you believe you're being careful, but really you're losing ground. Look at relationships. How many people stay in the wrong one because they can't decide? They don't leave, they don't fully commit. They just exist in the middle. And years pass. The cost isn't just wasted time, it's wasted life. Look at opportunity. Someone sees a chance to start a business, to invest, to grow, but they wait, they overthink. Someone else makes the decision and takes the opportunity while they're still standing on the sidelines. Indecision has robbed them of their shot. Even in simple things, indecision drains your strength. Ever sat staring at a menu, unable to choose? It's a small example, but it reveals a deeper truth. When you fail to choose, you train yourself to be powerless. Choice is a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Let me be clear. Safety is an illusion. You think you're safe when you avoid deciding, but you're actually in danger because the world doesn't wait for you. Life keeps moving, and the longer you hesitate, the further behind you fall. Ask yourself, what has indecision already stolen from you? Is it the business you never started, the words you never said, the life you never lived? It's time to face the thief and shut the door. Indecision has no place in a life of strength. Every time you delay, it steals from you. But every time you decide, you take back your power. Decide now, or the thief will keep stealing. The choice is yours. Excuses are dangerous because they don't come dressed as enemies. They come disguised as reasons, explanations, justifications. They whisper it's not the right time, you're too tired, you're not ready yet, and without even realizing it, you accept them. They become invisible chains. wrapping tighter around your life with every excuse you make. The scary part, you don't even feel the weight until years have passed, and suddenly you wonder why nothing has changed. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself you'll start tomorrow? How many times have you convinced yourself you had a valid reason to stop, delay, or avoid? That's how excuses work. They steal your progress quietly. They rob you of strength silently. And before you know it, you're stuck in the same spot you swore you'd move from. Let me tell you something. Excuses are not harmless. They're the reason dreams die. They're the reason potential never turns into reality. They're the reason so many people live average, unfulfilled lives. Every time you accept an excuse, you give up a piece of your freedom. But here's the truth. Those chains can be broken. They aren't locked. The moment you stop believing your own excuses, you break free. You step forward. You take ownership. And once you do, you realize the only thing that ever held you back was the story you kept repeating. So here's the challenge. Stop looking for reasons why you can't. Start asking yourself why you must. Because excuses may be invisible chains, but choice is the key that breaks them. The most dangerous lie you'll ever believe is the one you tell yourself. I don't have time. I'll start when I feel ready. I can't because of my past. These lies feel safe. They protect you from discomfort, but they also trap you from growth. You don't even question them because they sound true in your head. But let's be real. Do you really not have time? Or do you waste hours scrolling, distracting yourself, avoiding the hard work? Are you truly not ready? Or are you just afraid of failing? The lie feels easier than the truth. The truth hurts. The truth demands change, and change feels uncomfortable. That's why people cling to the lie. It gives them permission to stay the same. The problem is this: a lie repeated enough times becomes your reality. You start living inside the cage you built with your own words. You lower your standards, you accept less, and soon you stop even trying. But here's the wake-up call. Your life doesn't care about your lies. The clock keeps ticking. Opportunities keep passing. Other people keep moving forward. And the more you cling to lies, the further behind you fall. So ask yourself, what's the lie you've been telling yourself? What's the story you've repeated so many times that you've started to believe it? Expose it. Call it out. Destroy it. Because the moment you trade the lie for the truth, your entire life opens up. Excuses don't always destroy your life in one blow. They work like termites, silent, hidden, eating away piece by piece. At first you don't notice. You still stand, you still look fine on the outside, but inside your foundation is being eaten away. And one day when pressure comes, you collapse. Think about it. Skipping one workout doesn't ruin you. Procrastinating one task doesn't wreck your career. But when that pattern repeats over weeks, months, years, that's when the damage shows. Excuses create small cracks that grow into massive breaks. By the time you realize it, you've lost years you can't get back. The truth is, excuses don't just steal time. They steal belief. Every time you make one, you send yourself a message. I can't. I'm weak. I'm not capable. And over time, you believe it. That's how people go from dreaming big to settling small. Not because they lack talent, not because they lacked opportunity, but because excuses ate away at their will. The good news: just like termites, excuses can be exterminated. The moment you stop tolerating them, the damage stops. The moment you replace an excuse with action, you start rebuilding your foundation. So here's the choice. You can keep letting excuses eat away at your strength, or you can stop the damage today. Because the longer you wait, the weaker you become. And the weaker you become, the harder it is to stand when life tests you. Don't wait for the collapse. Act now. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, it feels powerful, it gets you moving. But sparks don't last. They fade. They die out the moment the wind changes. If all you have is motivation, your fire will never stay lit. Discipline, on the other hand, is the sun. It rises every day whether you feel like it or not. It doesn't depend on mood, weather, or inspiration. It shows up relentlessly, consistently. And that's the difference between people who start strong and people who finish strong. Think about it. How many goals have you started full of excitement, only to quit when the feeling faded? That's what happens when you rely on motivation. Motivation gets you to the gym once. Discipline keeps you there for years. Motivation helps you read a book. Discipline helps you master a subject. Motivation makes you sprint. Discipline makes you endure the marathon. Here's the brutal truth. Feelings can't be trusted. They rise, they fall, they change with the weather. But discipline is choice over feeling. Discipline is action over mood. Discipline says, I do it not because I feel like it, but because I said I would. Motivation will give you a moment. Discipline will give you a life. So stop chasing sparks. Build the sun. Because sparks are exciting, but the sun sustains. Starting is easy. Finishing is rare. Anyone can get hyped up, set a big goal, write down a dream, but look around. How many people actually follow through? How many finish the book, build the business, transform their body, change their life? Very few. And the difference isn't talent, it isn't luck, it isn't even motivation. The difference is discipline. Motivated people start, disciplined people finish. Motivation will push you to sign up for the race. Discipline will carry you through mile 20 when your lungs burn and your legs beg you to quit. Motivation will inspire you to start a business. Discipline will keep you grinding when sales are slow and doubt screams in your head. Motivation will get you excited about change. Discipline will make sure change actually happens. Here's the truth. Finishers aren't the most excited. They're the most committed. They're the ones who show up when the hype is gone. They're the ones who grind when nobody is watching. They're the ones who cross the line not because it was easy, but because quitting wasn't an option. So don't just start. Finish. Don't just talk. Do. Don't just get motivated. Get disciplined. Because in the end, the world doesn't remember who began the race. It remembers who finished it. Feelings are like weather, constantly shifting, never stable. One day you feel unstoppable. The next you feel drained. One morning you wake up motivated. The next you want to stay in bed forever. If your life is built on feelings, your progress will always be inconsistent. Habits, on the other hand, don't care how you feel. They're automatic. They're the groove in your brain that says, this is who I am, this is what I do. Habits are discipline made automatic. They carry you when feelings fail. That's why the strongest people don't rely on emotion. They rely on habit. They build routines so ingrained that skipping them feels unnatural. They don't ask, do I feel like it? They simply do it. Like brushing teeth, like tying shoes. It's not about desire, it's about identity. Think about it. If you only acted when you felt like it, how far would you really get? Would you eat clean every day? Would you exercise consistently? Would you push through the hard chapters of your dream? No. You'd stop the moment it got uncomfortable. But when you turn action into habit, it no longer depends on your mood. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't debate. You just move. And that's why disciplined people win. They aren't controlled by feelings. They control their actions. Feelings come and go. Habits stay. Feelings make promises. Habits keep them. And in the end, your habits, not your moods, determine your destiny. Most people see pain as punishment, something unfair, something to escape. But pain is not here to destroy you, it's here to... Think about it. Every weight you lift in the gym tears muscle fibers. That tearing hurts. But without it, there is no growth. The pain isn't punishment, it's the price. It's the preparation for a stronger you. Life works the same way. The rejection, the loss, the failure, the heartbreak, they hurt. They cut deep, but hidden inside them is training. Every painful experience is shaping you, sharpening you, building resilience where comfort would leave you weak. You want strength without struggle. You want wisdom without wounds. You want growth without sacrifice. But that's not how it works. The pain you fear is the classroom that teaches you who you really are. So stop asking, why me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Stop seeing pain as an enemy and start treating it like a coach. It's preparing you for the battles ahead. It's molding you for the life you say you want. Remember, punishment tears you down to destroy. Preparation tears you down to build. And pain, real pain, is always preparation. A gym is built on resistance. No resistance, no muscle, no weight, no growth. That's obvious when it comes to the body. But the soul has its own gym too. And the weights are struggle, pain, and hardship. Every challenge you face is resistance for your inner strength. Every setback forces your spirit to push harder. Every failure is another rep that builds endurance. It's not pleasant, it's not comfortable, but it's necessary. Because strength of character doesn't come from ease. It comes from resistance. Think about the people you admire. The ones with unshakable confidence, deep wisdom, and unbreakable resolve. Do you think they got that by living easy lives? No. They were forged in struggle. They lifted the heavy weight of adversity. They sweated through rejection, loss, and defeat, and because of it, their spirit became strong. Avoid struggle, and your soul stays weak. Embrace struggle, and your soul grows. That's the law of life. Just like muscles shrink without use, your inner strength withers without resistance. So stop wishing life were easier. Start getting stronger. See your struggles for what they are. The gym of the soul, and every rep of pain is building a version of you that cannot be broken. Avoiding pain feels safe. You dodge the hard conversation. You skip the workout. You stay in the comfort zone. For a moment it feels good. But every time you avoid pain, you pay a hidden cost. The cost is weakness. The cost is regret. The cost is a smaller life than you were meant to live. Think about it. Avoiding the gym keeps you from soreness, but it also keeps you from strength. Avoiding tough choices spares you stress, but it also traps you in mediocrity. Avoiding failure saves you embarrassment, but it also robs you of growth. Pain avoided today becomes change you wear tomorrow. You stay stuck, untested, unproven. You think you're saving yourself suffering, but really you're sacrificing your potential. Here's the truth. Pain hurts once, regret hurts forever. When you avoid pain, you trade temporary discomfort for permanent disappointment. And that's a bad trade. The strongest people aren't the ones who never faced pain. They're the ones who refuse to run from it. They stepped into the storm, took the hit, felt the sting, and came out stronger. So next time you're tempted to escape, remember the hidden cost. Avoid pain and you avoid growth. Avoid struggle and you avoid greatness. Pain avoided is strength denied. Most people treat failure like a funeral. Something dies and they bury their dream with it. But failure is not the end. Failure is a teacher. Think about your first attempts at walking as a child. You stumbled, you fell, you cried. If falling had been the end, you'd still be crawling on the floor today. But every fall taught you balance. Every stumble taught your body how to rise stronger. Failure was the classroom that prepared you to stand tall. The same principle applies to life. When you launch something and it collapses, when you risk and it doesn't pay off, when you dream and it shatters, it's not the end. It's feedback. It's instruction. It's the universe saying, not this way. Adjust. Grow. Try again. The only true failure is refusing to learn. The only final defeat is quitting. Everything else is education. Sometimes expensive, often painful, but always useful. Stop treating failure like a grave. Start treating it like a guide. Failure is not here to kill your dream. It's here to sharpen it. It's not here to end your journey. It's here to redirect it. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your teacher. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a wide river. On the other side is the life you want, the success, the growth, the destiny waiting for you. The river looks impossible to cross. The current is fast. The water is deep. How do you get across? The answer? Stepping stones. And every stone is a failure. Each failed attempt, each rejection, each setback. It drops a stone in the water. At first it feels useless, painful, frustrating. But slowly, stone by stone, they create a path. Eventually, what once seemed uncrossable becomes possible. You step on your failures and they carry you forward. People who fear failure never step onto the river. They stay on the shore, safe but stuck. They never fall, but they also never cross. They live and die on the wrong side of their destiny. But those who embrace failure keep stepping. They fall, they splash, they get soaked. Yet with every failure another stone appears, until one day they look back and realize the failures didn't stop me. They carried me. Failure is not drowning. Failure is the stepping stone across the river of life. Safety feels good, it feels smart. Stay where it's comfortable. Avoid embarrassment, avoid rejection, avoid failure. But safe living has a hidden cost. Weakness. When you never risk, you never grow. When you never step into the unknown, you never discover who you could be. The safe path may keep you from falling, but it also keeps you from flying.